Hello, my name is Rob, and this is my response video. As I looked through my classmates' posts, I did not find anybody that did the same exact episode as me, but a lot of them had some very interesting topics and facts about other episodes. The two posts that stood out to me, I had two posts that stood out to me. The first post that stood out to me was Logan's post, where he talks about the episode called A New Year's Same Health Fight. And this podcast or episode talks about how even though it is a new year, there are still the same health issues arising and ongoing. And they try to focus on the healthcare affordability, insurance coverage, and how the political debates that happen every 4 years or every so often slow down the changes in the healthcare system. One thing that I did find interesting that he talked about is that the podcast a lot of the time connected the issues to real patients, instead of connecting it to just like a general population of people, which I thought was very interesting because I think it's important to base it off true people so you can get a deeper understanding of what it actually is. And another thing I found interesting is the main reason why people do not seek help is because of the prescription costs, the co-pays, the deductibles, insurance costs, all of that stuff. And then that was Logan's post. And then the second post from one of my classmates that definitely stood out to me was Ethan's. And it was called Culture Borders Take the Center Stage. This podcast episode talked about how the government was going to come up with a spending bill to help funding community health services. One point that he brought up that I found very interesting was, in his words, taking away care that's already in place seems kind of backwards. I feel like that aligns a lot with politics too, because they take thousands and thousands of people out of place just for them to basically go back in a few years. And it also is kind of harder for the poorer people as well. And these issues did mesh with my own because even though it is a new year, the US and other countries are still struggling with funding or finding solutions to certain diseases that are in place throughout the US. And I also think that some of Logan's episode connects to mine because mine talks about the ACA, which is called the Affordable Care Act. And his talks a little bit about the reasons why people don't go see a doctor due to copays, prescriptions, and deductibles. And then the last reason this connects to mine, in the Affordable Care Act, is to try and fix the issue of the cost per visit and the cost of insurance. But these concepts do add to my understanding of the healthcare system because I have learned that the healthcare system doesn't really care about your background, because they don't really understand what you've been doing or been going through. And I feel like they have to take into account that people have bumps in their life and that a lot of people struggle with mental health, physical health. A lot of people struggle with disabilities, suicide. Like, it's a real thing, and I think the healthcare system really needs to understand that. But that is my post, and thank you for watching.